And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
We're all porpoising.
Yeah.
Did you,
Oh,
did
even
you,
the Ferraris are purposing now.
I know. Did you notice? So like, it's when they have a really when they're really pushing and really have a fast lap. They really porpoise bad. I mean, so you can kind of tell like who's pushing and who's not. But
Yeah.
I guess one of the things I noticed in practice and qualifying is like some of the teams, um, some of the teams they don't the driver doesn't bounce very much, but the car is.
Yep.
I don't have you noticed that? Because I think it's maybe it was the Alpines. It looks like the drivers aren't bouncing a whole lot, so maybe they've added something to their seat. You think like they have a suspension inboard suspension
So
for the driver
like the early '90s Williams, right? The active suspension for their seats,
for the
something like
seats.
yeah. Well, I you can see like definitely like Mercedes, they probably have like a major headache after, right? But
Oh yeah,
Leclerc was saying that the purposing wasn't affecting him. I don't know how, but
yeah. I don't know
he
how.
said he didn't. But like the beauty of the aerodynamics, and I'm not an engineer by any
That's for sure.
way, shape, or form, but
Can
you
confirm.
see. You see when like the Ferraris were purposing him, but as soon as they hit the brakes and started like turning, the car would just like
It's beautiful. Yeah,
it would just like stop and go.
yeah,
Like it was amazing. Like how well it's not fine tuned because otherwise it wouldn't be purpose. But like
yeah. It wouldn't be.
that transition is so smooth, right?
Yeah,
From
yeah,
purposing to like normal that it's amazing. But yeah, I
yeah.
don't know how they deal with it. It's like I would have massive headaches if that happened.
Yeah, I mean it's and they were doing it every single time down the backstretch there in Australia. And like I said, anytime somebody was pushing you, like you could tell how hard they were pushing based on how soon they started porpoising and how hard it was hitting the track. And um, but yeah, the Ferraris. If you watch the in car of Leclerc, I mean,
Hmm.
it just so smooth, as you said. Like it just settles down right in the corner. I mean, very very rarely does he have
Yep.
any kind of issue with the handling on that car. It just looked like it was on rails this weekend.
That Ferrari was shaky yet smooth, but not smooth enough for the smooth operator.
You're speaking of your boy.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
I was so upset because I mean it is his fault as well, and
Yeah.
maybe we all had high expectations for
Oh
him.
yeah, definitely,
But
definitely.
the shitty strategies that he's been put on, like it's unbelievable. Like it's total bullshit. Ferrari clearly is focusing on Leclerc, and that's pissing me off.
I mean, he looked like trash this weekend, though. I mean, like there's no denying that it looked bad, and I know that the story has kind of come out that they're blaming it on electrical issues, that they've had to change the steering
The
wheel, and it
Gremlin
didn't.
effect.
Yeah, and then it didn't have some of the settings correct, which was shame on Ferrari. I mean, that like you're a
That's my
top
point.
tier, yeah,
They're
you're the
not
top
focusing
tier
on him.
team. How does your backup steering wheel not have
Yeah.
all the same settings done? Like,
Eh,
is that not on somebody's checklist every Sunday morning? I
but
don't understand at
but
all.
that's not the entire story. On Saturday, he was having the same problems. They
Right,
didn't change, but delayed enough where he couldn't put his last lap on Q3,
right,
right? They delayed him, I think, beginning of Q3 because
yeah.
of the problem. So his
And
his
well,
his
and
lap was
he
good.
got caught out by the because there's a red flag, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
something like he didn't. He only got one preparation lap, and then he got caught out with the flag, which is just unlucky. I mean, that's how it is. But
But that's the thing. Like Q2, he was the fastest. It's not like
yeah,
he didn't have pace. Like it was all
right.
ill timed, you know. But
Yeah, yeah,
it's getting to a ill timing circumstance that happens to every single second driver, right? And at some point, it stops being a coincidence, you know.
right, right.
So like I'm hugely disappointed. I want Science to to go there and win, but he needs to. I know. I mean, I'm being biased in saying the blame is not all on him, but he needs to fucking perform
Yeah.
when push comes to shove, right? And I know, like, with all the mapping, the car wasn't great. That's why he spun and all that shit happened. But he needs to put a good performance in Italy next
Well,
race.
I mean, he crashed because he's on cold tires trying
Hmm.
to pass.
Hards,
Yeah,
hards.
he's on hards, which was the wrong strategy, and then he's trying to pass Joe Guan Yu, which he shouldn't be racing with ever, right? Other than to put him a lap down.
I mean, that
So
those Ferraris, right? It's not like the last year's Ferraris. They are not used to be in the middle field. Like, they're used to be in the front. His car was like, "Get me out of here! Fuck
yeah,
that!"
yeah,
You
yeah. I'm bailing out on this.
know.
So but I mean, he was as you and I said, he needs to go for pole, right?
Yep.
His weekend needs to be centered around getting pole position, so that way he gets the correct strategy. Then he's able to cash that in with a good finish. And
But at this
so I
point,
mean, he did have
yeah,
some quality speed. We should
yeah,
give him that. But other than that,
he
like,
doesn't have race pace.
terrible weekend.
And okay, exclude this one, but the first two races he didn't have the race pace.
Yep.
But I'll even question right now if he gets pole and Leclerc is second, he will still get the shitty pit strategy, and I'm willing to spend to bet money on that
It's
because
oh,
the only way that Binotto will approve anything other than that will be if like Leclerc is like third or fourth. Otherwise, he still gets the shitty strategy.
yeah.
Now,
Well, I mean, science has to do it before we can see if that prediction
yeah.
is right. But I mean,
Now,
uh,
I was looking. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was looking at the standings after three races, right?
mhm.
So let's say I went on a deep coma in January, and I woke up.
I
You
wish
wish, right?
one or both of us were in a deep coma. Yep.
But then I wake up miraculously. I wake up Sunday afternoon, and I
Hmm.
go see the Formula One standings.
You go see it. Yep.
You will think what? Clearly Ferrari is dominating, but Mercedes is second, right? Because who is the
Right.
second driver on the standings right now?
It's Russell.
My boy, GR63 is the second on
Yep.
the standings, followed by Sainz. So I know you and I agree that that 10 years from now we open the books, we see results, blah blah blah. But isn't
Hmm.
that funny and like totally crazy that we know Mercedes is just a shitty car this year, and
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
somehow they managed to put their driver in second
I
in the standings.
I think even George say he thought they were like the fifth fastest car or something like that. Like, I think even he knows, this is a fluke. And
Yeah.
you look at the points. He's like 36 points. Leclerc's almost doubled him up
Yep.
already, right?
Yep.
Like, he's like 36 points out of first. It's a quite a big lead, considering last year we never saw that big a difference
Yep.
between first and second place. But yeah, very strange, but it's only three races, and
And
there's 20 more,
yep.
that's the other thing. Like, there's 20 more races. Like, we're just
And I
10% into this
what I
thing.
like is that Leclerc is seizing the opportunity. Remember that 2009 when Button was the world champion with the
Ugh.
Browns, right? He seized the opportunity. He won the first six races where
Yep,
the diffuser was playing a huge role,
that's
right?
right.
Because towards the end,
Build up a
Brown
huge lead. Yep.
Brown wasn't the best car, and
Yep.
right now Ferrari is seizing the opportunity, having the best car. I don't think they're gonna like suck as Brown sucked in 2009, but like if they keep building the lead, I read that they even bumped the car, no, power this weekend to add another 5 horsepower.
Hmm.
So they definitely still have things on the tank, right? Enough spare capacity on that tank to give Leclerc and Sainz an advantage. So I think Ferrari, I don't know if they're going to be the dominant, but they are seizing the opportunity, and I
Yep.
like it.
Yeah,
That's what they need to do.
I like that too, and probably the thing that has edged me closer to liking Charles
Sure.
is is him wanting to go for the fastest lap.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
love that. I want a guy who says, "Yeah, I know I have the fastest lap right now, but
Yep.
what if other guys come in?" He says, "I know I have more pace in the car," and wanting that extra point for that very reason of, I need that point now because I might need it in September or
Yep.
or whatever, right? It may pay off. So I loved when he did that because I went back and listened to the in car, and I think he asked two different times, saying, "Hey guys,
Now it's
let's go for
time.
the
Yeah.
yeah,"
And
and
not only that,
they talked
he
him out of it.
he
Obviously,
could have stopped and changed tires for softs to do that. He was
it
so
would have been
confident.
close.
He
It would
was
have been
so but
close.
he was so confident. He was like, I'm gonna do that on hard tires. It's like, let me go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
Like it's so amazingly faster than anyone else that he's like okay with the use hard tires to be
yep,
confident on getting the fastest lap. And good thing he
yep.
did on the last one because I think Alonso was on pace to beat his previous fast lap.
Yeah, but Alonso had pitted there towards the end, right? I
Yeah,
think he had.
but still he would have taken a point away from him, right?
Yeah, could have. Yeah,
So now, yeah, I like it. And I'm not a Charles fan, but I need to give it up. Like he
yeah,
definitely have the will to win, not
yeah,
like some other British young drivers
yeah.
that ask if they can stay in second.
Yeah,
But
I
anyway,
mean, you take their watch away from them, and they
they're
melt.
lost.
Yeah,
It's like losing their compass or something. But anyway, I
as we talk about Leclerc, so he gets the grand slam, right? So it's he gets pole, he leads every lap, he gets the fastest lap. I mean, he just looked so comfortable the whole weekend. And he would have won comfortably even if Verstappen had made it to the end, right? I
yep.
mean, there was really no challenge. He was just managing the race. They had the correct setup to not grain their tires. I mean, just all around, Leclerc looked great this weekend. And
He
yeah,
did.
I'm not necessarily a Leclerc fan, but I mean, it's
The
hard to
only
argue with success, right?
I think the only slip that he had was the second restart. That Max was
Yeah.
very close, but then like after three turns, like Ferrari was way ahead.
Yeah.
But no, aside of that, yeah, he dominated. Kudos to him again, seizing the opportunity.
But
And
the thing is, I
yeah,
mean, anybody that's a top tier guy like that on a restart is going to be close anyway, right? So I mean,
no, but was clearly something happened because like they implemented the Verstappen rule this weekend,
mhm,
where the
thank
car
goodness.
cannot be like wheel to wheel, right? It needs to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
totally behind. And even with that, once they got the green light, Verstappen was very very close. Like he didn't. You know how usually the leader go very slow and then all of a
yeah.
sudden
Very slow and
gets
just take
out,
off. Yeah,
and he didn't do that. He kept at the same pace basically. Um, but yeah, no, he was great. But and as much as I don't like Leclerc, and I know the root cause is when he came to Ferrari and was just kind of cocky, beating
yeah, yeah,
Vettel left and right. I think left a bad impression. But if you compare him with Max, he's not as arrogant as Max.
yeah. Not
He doesn't
nearly.
swear. He's very polite on his radio
Yeah, yeah,
transmissions. Actually, like, can I please go for the fastest lap? So like, yeah, I mean, it's a different approach, and it would be awesome if he's the champion, like another young, driver being champion other than Max. Um,
The only thing I picked up on in his post race is he still doesn't have the polish that someone like Lewis, right,
yep,
which is the great professional. At the end of the race, he always talks about we. He always talks about the team.
right.
He never talks about I or me. So he still needs to work on that. That's just a PR thing. I mean, who cares as long as he's getting grand slams
Hmm.
and say whatever he wants. But I think there's still that little bit there that's left from him. But I mean, from what we've seen this year on the track, he's up to the task.
Yep.
To even when you have Verstappen breathing down his neck on restarts or like what we saw in the first two races too,
Yep.
where
No, he's not
it was
afraid of.
close, not
He's
afraid at all.
he has shown he's not afraid, right? From
Yep.
his first year Ferrari fighting with Vettel. So
Hmm.
we know he's feisty, right? And like you said, Jeddah and Bahrain, where he fought with Max. It's
Yep.
gonna be fun watching that if the Red Bulls can keep up with the entire race lengths, and maybe if Mercedes get better. No, it's gonna be fun to see it. Yeah, it's looking good for the Ferraris at the moment. Sainz need to step up his game to help if that's
Absolutely.
gonna be his role. But everyone is focusing on this Leclerc versus Max battle. But I'm really interested on the other battle that's like brewing right now. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What's that?
Latifi versus the checkered flag. he cannot
He's
manage to
fighting.
sit.
He's
Yeah, he's fighting the checkered flag. He can't get a checkered flag. I mean, what's going on there?
Uh, I thought you were going to say the Aston Martins versus Larry's pocketbook, because they destroyed a lot of expensive equipment this weekend. But yeah, Latifi refuses to finish a race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
like that.
they
That's
do not get along. They do not get on the same page for sure. I mean, at what point do we sack Latifi from Formula One?
I mean, I don't know how much money he's bringing into the team, but it's just shades of Mazepin, right? That it
Yeah,
really is.
yeah.
I mean, he seems hopeless at this point. And he's not a new guy, right? I mean, he's been
Mm.
around for a few years now. He should be better than this. He should not be making these kind of mistakes. And then
No, he's beyond his ceiling. He's awful. Like
yeah,
he's extending his welcome. He's
and
I mean,
and he has.
you know I don't like Stroll, but I don't think Stroll was at fault, even though he got the punishment for the qualifyings.
You know,
You know, I think
I
Latifi
thought the
was at
punishment
fault.
was way too harsh. I agree with you. I don't. There's a certain angle, like the angle that shows from really far back, and that looks really bad, where it looks like he swerves into him.
Hmm.
But just when you think about it, Latifi, what was the point of letting him by, and then you're gonna
And then
pass him
trespass. Yep.
right again?
Well, I
I
think
mean,
what
it
they
just
said
makes
is
no sense.
he thought it was Bottas or Joe that was on a flying lap, right? And ended up not being anyone behind him. But Stroll
Right?
went by and he wanted to recover the position. But hey, listen, you lost it already. No, take the L and keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
It made no sense.
I mean, and they were all gonna be at the back anyway, so there was no point in all of
Yeah,
that. But
I would
completely avoidable is
yeah,
what I would say.
I
Yeah,
would give until summer. If he doesn't get better, just put Hulkenberg there. Put someone else
just
in
to
that seat.
move him over. Yeah, the thing is, like, depending on how much money they're getting from him, they might
Yeah, but
just
at
say
what
it's
cost?
just worth it.
At the cost of going over the budget cap. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, he certainly is not. He's not helping them develop the car. So they
Oh,
must. I wonder if they're just going to put all their eggs into the Albon basket, which is not a great basket to put your stuff into. But
nope, not at all.
we'll,
Full of
we'll see.
full of holes and no handle. Not a good basket to put your eggs into. Oh, anyway, so let's go from the bottom up, right? Aston Martin, what a awful weekend.
Yeah, just completely forgettable. I don't even know if there's any good bright spot. I mean, you had Seb on a scooter was probably the most exciting thing, and he got a fine for that, right?
Yep, $5,000, 5,000 euros or whatever for riding the scooter. Yeah,
Which I get it from a safety perspective, but also like it is sort of lame that people are so excited about it. I mean, he's on a scooter, okay? Who
yep,
cares, right? Like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, like Aston Martin as a team has been on a decline, right? Because
yeah,
they inherited Force India slash what was the other name?
Racing Point.
Racing Point. And as soon as it became Aston Martin, they immediately became like a back middle of the field, and now they're
Yeah,
bottom of the field.
yep,
You know, like something's wrong there. And then you read reports that Papa Stroll is yelling at everyone all the time. That does not yield a good morale with the team.
yeah,
They seem
yep,
to be lost. That Mike Crack guy does not look like a guy with a strong personality. He's very like bland and meh. So a lot of things go like and Otmar leaving the team. Not saying that Otmar is great, but like for Otmar to leave, something is
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
It's a sign. It's a sign,
Yeah,
and it just tells you that you can hire all the talent that you
right.
want, but it doesn't make a team. So yeah, something's certainly missing there, and I think even though my prediction of Vettel selling his seat didn't happen, I think it was probably as close as it could have been
No,
without
no, no.
actually happening. Right? Because even he had a pretty crappy weekend,
Oh yeah,
not that many laps,
no.
and
But
putting it off in the gravel.
I'm a Seb guy. But like, dude, drop
Weren't
this
you the one
fucking.
that Wait. You're a Seb guy.
I
Weren't
am
you
a
the one
sub guy.
that said he's a divorced dad?
Well, but one thing doesn't cancel the other. I said
Okay.
last year he looked like a recently divorced dad, right? He
You
was
s-
completely.
you said he was eating frozen hot dogs over the sink like a
Yeah,
divorced
because
dad.
he seemed very bad, but that doesn't mean I'm not a sad guy. But the
Okay.
problem here is he needs to drop this fucking earthy persona. Like
Mm-hmm.
I care about cleaning
That's
everything.
true.
Like Friday or Saturday, he crashed the car. He started putting parts of the car in the cockpit. Like, dude, stop with that bullshit. Like
Yeah,
give it a break. Even Master Douche Lewis didn't do that on the peak doucheness. Lewis didn't get to that point, and Seb is being douche on a different way, and it's absolutely annoying. Focusing on driving, focusing on lighting some fire on the back of those
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
You know, have them build a good car. Stop with this BS. You want to save the
yep,
environment. Good. Stop. Drive first. Then in a few years, go all in. But right now, focusing on performance, performing on track.
yeah,
That's my message to
yeah.
Seb.
That's what he's getting paid to do. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Cinderella story. Do you think the Cinderella time is over for Haas and Alpha? Like they
Oh
didn't
yeah.
do
Yeah,
well
definitely,
this.
definitely for Haas. I mean,
Yeah.
Haas has come back to earth. Yeah, it looks like
Crashing hard.
they are who we thought they were, which was the seventh best team on the grid. Um,
Seventh?
yeah, I mean,
Behind who?
or,
Williams?
ahead of whom?
Yeah, sorry. Ahead of
Yeah, I guess Aston and
Williams.
yeah, probably Williams.
So eighth.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, fine.
yeah. You're right.
Fair,
Eighth.
fair, fair, fair,
Good point. Good point.
fair. Well, it's +2 from last year, so
Um, the, yeah, I think that they've just crashed back to earth. I mean, neither car had a good pit strategy. I think both of them kind of got caught out by the safety car. But still, like, what they finished like 13th and 14th. Just the speed's not there.
yeah, definitely K Mag's worst performance of the year so far.
Yep, he
Um,
looks like K Mag.
yep.
That's what you get with him.
And Bottas is melting like a butter, like you said,
Oh,
right?
oh, thank goodness. Oh, so
Were you happy?
relieved. So
Yeah.
relieved.
Were you sweating at one point before?
A little bit. I was a little worried. Like, oh man, he's just gonna rack up a couple of points every week and probably have a
Yeah.
decent finish at the end. But
Well,
um,
yeah, but to me, the disappointment so far, and what it's a disappointment slash kind of expected, and I would make a parallel to hospital food, right? Has no seasoning, no salt, very bland.
mhm,
AlphaTauri.
yeah,
You
that
expect the bad food, you still get
it is.
disappointed to eat the bad food. That's
Yeah,
AlphaTauri this year.
yeah. It's noodles with just noodles. Right,
Yep.
like there's no sauce, there's no soy, there's
No,
no
just the dirty
MSG,
water.
there's
The dirty
it's
water,
just
boil the noodles. Yep. Yeah. That's AlphaTauri. So much
yeah.
potential. Such a great driver on my buddy
So,
Gasly.
again, my favorite looking car. I think they have the best looking car on the grid
Yeah, I
in terms
don't.
of livery. I love it, and yeah, just no pizzazz whatsoever. Yeah,
No.
just
I
disappointing.
I
Every time
wonder
you get
if
your hopes up, they let you down.
Honda slash Red Bull powertrains are testing shit on Alpha before
That would be
replicating
good.
to Red Bull, right? And that's why they're not performing. But maybe they are limited on revs or whatever, or even the design is bad because that's first year in a while that's their design. But yeah, it's hugely disappointing to see Gasly, who has such a potential, being no middle of the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and then having a teammate that
Yeah,
we've kind of seen Sonoda. Again, we know what he is, and
yeah.
he's the back of
It's
the
a paid
midfield
driver,
kind of
paid
guy.
driver.
Yeah, pay. Yeah.
Um, but
We skipped over Williams, right? Did we?
well, we
I
talked
d-
about them. It's
well, I wanted to find out like what was so Albon,
okay.
went
Yeah.
57 laps.
Yep.
I have no idea why. Like I don't understand it at all. Um, so somebody should explain to me like why didn't he pit with like 5 laps I understand going a long stint, right? If he was having good pace out of the hard tires as they wore down, that's fine. But like, why don't you pit with 5 laps to go and then put on the softs, right? And then just do, really, really fast laps at the end. Because you're not going to convince me that he couldn't do, 3 or 4 laps faster on the soft tires than he can a used set of hards.
Listen,
That I don't understand at
say
all.
what you want. Those engineers have more balls than Mercedes engineer last year.
More
More
brains for sure.
creative, more brains, more balls.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
like,
That's true. Good point. Good point.
agreed with you on your points, but what they did worked. They got a point, and
They did.
Albon got a point faster than Russell in the last 3 years. So how can you argue with that?
Yeah,
You know,
true. True.
there's not much else to say. But
Yeah.
it was a bizarre strategy, but it
Very
worked for them.
bizarre. Very
It worked for
bizarre.
them.
And like I don't. Yeah, like I understand people celebrating that they did something strange, but it's even stranger when you think about like what's the reason that's what they chose, right? Like I don't know. Like again, why didn't they stop with 10 laps to go or 5 laps to go or any or
No idea.
even or even
Oh, they
I
know
don't know
it's
if it's
Albon.
legal.
I
I don't know
mean,
if
what's
it's
the
legal
likelihood of him fucking it up if it's
if
5 laps to go?
we don't think it's legal for them to actually pit on the last lap, so lap 58, right?
Yeah, they think he would have to finish the race before, or pit before finishing the race, and because Williams is after the finish line, if he waited for the
So
last lap, he would complete the race without pitting.
so the finish line does go through the pits then.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but
Very strange. Very
yeah,
strange.
I will go with my theory that they don't trust Albon. He could have fucked it up. So like giving him just like one lap on cold tires is enough. But I mean, the sad story of the day, say what you want, is Alonso, not finishing up there. He had a
Yeah,
good car.
it's tough to
Fucking,
watch.
it's tough to watch. And man, that cloud following him,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the unlucky cloud following him, and it's amazingly frustrating.
So you think he would have finished ahead of Ocon? Ocon wouldn't
I
have
I think
booted
he
him
had
out,
the
right?
opportunity to do that. And to Ocon's credit, he's been very consistent lately.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the Alpine is not bad. It's not a
yeah.
bad
Not
car.
bad. Yeah,
Like they have the makings of fighting for between third and fifth, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
very close third to fifth right now, and yeah, a sad story to Alpine. I had high hopes, and couldn't deliver. But I was talking about Gasly. I will say that Alpine might not be a bad option for him because he could. It's a team that can invest. Like it might not be the best one right now, but they have no one else to care but themselves. If they
Mhm.
really do something good, it could be a car that could give all the attention that Gasly needed to be successful.
I yeah, I get what you're saying. It just doesn't seem like a big enough move up the grid. I mean, because he doesn't have that many years left in Formula One. I mean, okay,
I mean,
he's
how
still a
old
young
is
guy,
he?
but I mean,
24?
yeah, probably. But what do you? I mean, unless he starts ripping off wins, I mean, he's probably done in 5 6 years at the
Yeah, but
most.
let's see. He's 26. Yeah, you're right. But
Yeah,
but what would you rather do? Stay at AlphaTauri or try your luck at Alpine?
I would. So you're saying if one of the top 3 teams don't
Yeah, forget
have
about the
a
top.
seat open.
Yeah, like a Red Bull, no way. Ferrari, no way. Long term with LeClerc, and Mercedes is like Mercedes and McLaren has Lando long term, right? Mercedes is the only wild card. But let's say Mercedes doesn't pan out. I would rather take my chances on a team that's not the junior team than staying in AlphaTauri. That's,
I Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what their philosophy is going to be, especially with new teams entering the sport. But yeah, it's not a. I guess I'm not against taking a gamble on Alpine or even taking the second seat at McLaren may not be a terrible idea
oh, yeah,
because
100% not. Yeah, no, if he had the chance, like he should go for
yeah,
that seat. But I think it's a tough sell, right? Unless Total want to go back to 2016 or like the 2014-16 era. where he had two strong drivers, and I mean he's old enough that maybe he doesn't want to risk a heart attack. But yeah, it would be awesome to see two strong drivers, 1A,
Yep.
1B, fighting all the time. If Mercedes has a good car still,
Sure.
in the following years. But yeah, man, we know Alonso won't be there forever, and Alpine they don't have any customer team, right? They just
Right.
do for
Right.
themselves.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like they have a bad car this year. Maybe if they can, develop this car either this year or next one, it could be a potential spot.
Yeah. And
You know?
and McLaren for this one race anyway didn't look
That's
terrible,
bad.
right?
Yeah,
I mean yeah, like they really bounced back this
literally bounce
weekend.
back.
Literally yeah, bounced off the track
Yeah.
back. I mean, good for them for the finish. Although there's a little bit of controversy that your boy Danny Rick was told not to pass Lando, and I guess Lando was nursing the car to the end. They thought he might blow up there at the end or something like that.
Yeah.
So, um,
I mean, Danny Rick got a win last year out of team orders, right?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's
Small
his.
price to pay. Yeah,
Yeah, it's his home race, but tough luck. I do believe he should have lost his passport and never leave Australia again.
yeah. That would be
Give that
nice.
McLaren shit to someone else, but no, it is
Go
what it
out on
is.
top. Yep.
His is still there. He's going to Italy.
Can you believe there were 420,000 idiots out there? I
I
mean,
can because Austin brings about the same, and Australia actually have real fans that understand Formula One, so I'm not surprised.
but how disappointed would you be? Like you got out there and there's 400,000 other sweaty fans, and then you have to watch that turd of a race.
True, but I think the adrenaline of seeing the drivers, overcome the fact that the race wasn't that exciting, except when Max retired.
That was the
That's
best part.
when
That
that
was the
was the
best part.
best part of the race for me. Um, but yeah, no, I can see what you're saying. But I thought you were saying, can you believe 400,000 people go there to watch Danny Rick? I don't think they
But
go to watch Danny Rick, but
no, 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 no.
um,
The last of the late breakers. No.
no, I mean, I don't know. Do you know what happened? Because I thought there were going to be 4 DRS zones, and then all of a sudden there were 3. Did they cut down one after the FPs? Was that what happened?
Yeah, I think they adjusted at the last minute there, something like that.
Yeah.
I did not see the reason of particularly why, but you know, good for them
Well, good for
to
you doing
realize
your
it was
homework. But
unnecessary.
anyway.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, I mean, we were joking before the race. Is like, there's just make the entire track,
yeah.
DRS,
DRS, they leave it open all the time.
the
Yeah.
whole way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the changes were so impactful. Like turn 9 was like kind of a straight, it wasn't a turn anymore. It was kind of a,
Yeah, yeah.
zigzag a little bit.
All the
But
what is it? Turn 5 is kind of scary. Like
yeah,
when you see like that wall comes right
yeah,
at you,
yeah, yeah,
turn
yeah.
5. But other than that, yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot of change. Not
Yeah,
as much as people said there was good midfield racing.
who
There
cares?
really, it wasn't that much good field. I mean, it was kind of
I,
So I give it a 2 out of 10 in terms of the whole race.
oh, I give a 6.5 out of 10 because
Oh,
of the
that's
retirement.
criminal. That's
Max
criminal.
retirement. Max retirement like brought
That's
my
worth 4 points. That's worth
four and a
4 out of
half.
10.
Yeah,
Worth four and a
yeah,
half points. Yeah.
yep, yeah. No, but I will still take Australia over any Middle Eastern
Yeah,
race for sure.
yeah. Yeah,
At least they have fans. Fans that are
that's true.
excited to see. So
Yeah, I mean they're all crazy. Um, I mean you there, but you can't see anything, and there's so many gross people. Oh,
I
oh,
mean the scenery is nice.
it sounds like purgatory to me. Ugh.
Nah, it's fine. So
Like
Mercedes, does that?
just imagine you and Mick hanging out the whole weekend.
Oh God.
You're on like the second row of bleachers in the exit of turn 1 or something like that. I mean just Gross, just gross. Or
Me,
you and
Mick on
Nick
one side, Jamie on the other
sharing
side
lawn
as my
chairs or something like that.
no Mick on the one side, Jamie on the other side as my tour guide.
That's
That would be amazing. Would love it. At least I would ride the trains for free for the entire week. But what do you think about Mercedes? Are they for good or was it a fluke?
fluke, absolute fluke. They should
Oh,
not have finished where they were third and fourth.
I do have breaking news.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't tweet because I wanted to say here. Nobody's gonna listen anyway, but I'm gonna say here. Then I'll tweet. I had from a good source. They are bringing new flooring for next race. An updated floor for the cars.
For the next race.
Yep, for Italy. And according to my sources, it's gonna reduce porpoising in about 60 to 65%.
Yeah, there's still there's still it's still the ugliest
I
car
mean,
for
there is
sure.
hope.
And no, there's not. Once Red Bull fixes their reliability problem, you'll see just what a midfield car the Mercedes is.
I'm still not sold. I think it's
Their season is done.
lucky. I mean, it's luck of the draw
Okay,
that. Can
grab a
I finish my?
shovel. Grab a shovel
Can
with
I
me,
finish my
and
thoughts?
no, let's bury these guys. They're done. They're cooked. It's over.
Fine, but I'm still not convinced that the engine is the problem. I think it's luck of the draw. Every single Mercedes car has bad aerodynamics design because you can get the fucking best or second best engine of last year, and same engine sucking this year. I believe it's a design of the car, project of the car. So if Mercedes can address this problem, they're gonna be right up there with the other teams.
They don't they need to drop like 10 kilos or something like that? Like they have some ridiculous amount of weight that they need to drop or something like that. It's
Well, Luis
they're
doesn't want to
done.
remove his jewelry. That's a problem. He could have taking some off. That would
it
help.
it is a quick digression. It's a little isn't it a little weird that we're concerned about like the fans are concerned about it. I mean, does it really matter to the fan whether or not he wears jewelry or anything?
Well, here's my thought. The Twitter's crazy, right? They're
Yeah, yeah,
too much of like extreme fans.
yeah,
But here's my problem with it. Let's say Luis has been wearing for this forever,
yeah,
even though there are rules against. What's the fucking problem? It's not like a
yeah.
contact sport where jewelry
Hmm.
will play a role like in ripping pieces of your
Yeah,
body, whatever.
exactly.
It's all protected. What does it matter if I'm wearing an earring or not? Like it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Those rules are stupid. Like I'm all in favor like wear as much jewelry you want because it's not impacting. It's all under clothes. You know,
that's right.
It's a known issue for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, again, I look at it. I think the team would think the same way that if as long as it doesn't slow the car down and it makes the driver happy,
Yeah.
that's fine,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
again, yeah, he's in as safe a spot as you can be inside the car, which is made to withstand
Yeah.
impacts. I mean, yeah, if it makes
Yeah.
him
Yeah. I
happy
don't see
doing
as a
that,
problem.
I don't care.
Why'd you think about the radio? You guys putting me on a bad spot or something like that?
So okay, so he explains after the race that he what he actually meant was that his car was overheating, and that was the problem. Although I don't understand why he would say you guys put me in a tough spot. Um, I think it clearly is. It really is directed at that Russell got ahead of him, but not of any fault of Lewis, right? It really was just how the safety car shook out. So,
Yep.
yeah, a little. Uh, to me, I can see right through what Lewis is talking about here. Like, I mean, I don't know that anybody's buying this
He's
lie.
frustrated.
Overheating was a problem. Yeah, frustrated. That's a good way to put it. Yep.
Yeah. But do you think there was team orders directly or indirectly or
Oh yeah, yeah.
uh,
To just hold pat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't check the timing, but I'm sure there's probably a little bit of a threat that um, they could lose a spot. Actually, no, I take that back. No, they were comfortably. You know what? Yeah, it had to be team orders. Now that I think about it, it had to be team orders that they just said nope, just let Russell get his
But
podium. Yeah.
what's the end game here? If there was a team order, wouldn't it make more sense to let Lewis just pass George? Like, are they worried about George's feeling here? Or what? Like,
Yeah, but what's there to gain by letting? To me, Lewis when he got passed on the track by Perez, so that was his chance to prove that he could go up there and fight with Perez. So why would you give him a second shot at it? He's already shown that he was going to get passed on track. So. And then just the race shook out correctly, to Russell's benefit that he happened to be going long on that first stint when there was a safety car, right? So,
well, it's good for Russell. He kept the third place, first podium.
but again, like what would be the point of giving those extra points to Lewis?
He's the number one driver.
Is he? I mean,
I mean, he's gotta be, hey.
I get it. He's not going to win the championship this year, right? So
Yeah, true.
Like, what does it matter at this point? It's all about the team result, and they maximize their team result.
I did like two things about the situation. George saying that's not what I want to hear, or that's not why I'm here and want to hear about. When he said, I'm paraphrasing, but it was to the tune of hey, not happy with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with Lewis, right? He's like, yeah, like you guys put me on this tough position. I want to do more. So I like that they are still thirsty, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
fighting, which is good. So kudos to them,
For,
and
for the
kudos to
record,
Lewis. I
LK
mean,
likes thirst traps. Gotcha.
yeah, thirst traps. But kudos to Lewis for not disrupting me, because he could have given an interview after the race and just said, "Hey, yeah, the team fucked me over, etc., etc." He's getting older, man. He's not as douchey as he used to, and that
Yeah, yeah.
worries me a little bit because I like hating him. But anyway, off to the disappointment of the weekend, which is Red Bull retirement. Max not being able to fight. Perez did an excellent job. Somehow scored the second
Yeah, I have
position,
no idea how Perez, ended up second. It's like
but he did.
he did, yeah.
He did
He
what you've
passed
been
Lewis
asking
on
him to
track,
do
and
it.
that was
He
yeah,
did what you've been asking him to do it, and
100%,
he did
100%.
very well. Verstappen with the reliability problems. Do you think it's a worry? Do you think it's a real reliability problem? Do you think it's easily fixable? What's your take on that?
Um, I guess I'm a little bit conflicted because this race you didn't see the same thing, or you didn't see a failure from Perez, so it makes you think that it
Or the
has
Alphas?
something, or the Alphas, right? It makes you think okay, it's more of Verstappen's approach to driving, whatever that is that caused the failure. Um, so I think they're hoping it's more isolated. Otherwise, he's going to have to adapt his style to more like Perez, which is slower. Um,
Oh, we'll give a
so
Mercedes a fighting chance for second then, right?
right. Although hey, Mercedes is they're second in constructors right now,
They
right?
are, yeah.
So I think they'll fix it. I mean, I think it's even if starts bringing a lot of upgrades, I think everybody's going to be bringing upgrades. Yeah, their reliability. I would not be surprised if they fix the reliability and also pick up 2/10. So
True, true. Yeah, yeah. But two things about that. Um, I read that through the grapevine, people are saying that Perez's style fits more this car, which is very surprising considering they probably molded everything for Verstappen's
yeah,
liking,
yeah,
and
yeah.
somehow they managed to to make a car that fits more of the Perez style.
Hmm.
That's one thing. The other interesting thing is I read reports that Honda wants to come back in 2026.
Yeah,
And
I did
that
see that.
makes me absolutely despise and hate Honda because they always do that. And I told you last year, remember when they announced they were going to leave? I told you I hate that because they always do this. They leave, a few years later, they come back. That's the absolute bullshit. The FIA and Formula One should ban them for like
Should
10
ban
years.
them.
No, I mean, that's BS because they disrupt the entire grid. And it's like, oh, I changed my mind, coming back. Like, what the fuck? Like, you wanna leave, fine. 10 years penalty or 10 years ban. Come back in
You have
10
to, you
years.
have to stay away.
Yeah. Like,
Actually, I don't. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that idea of like of yeah. If you leave, you have to stay out. But then but what I mean, but also like you want more teams in the sport, right? I mean, you want teams
I
that are
do.
going to spend
Of
money.
course. Yeah. But
Just
like,
just not
are
that many.
they, I think they disrupt more than they invest.
Could be.
Like, clearly, like with the, it might be boring for some people, but remember end of the 2000s when they had the Bar Honda team, right? Then became
Yeah, yeah,
Honda.
yeah,
That poured a bunch of money, all of a sudden just gave up, and then
yeah,
Braun came in and won, right?
yeah,
Obviously with a different engine, so on and so forth. Then they came back in 2014, sucked forever until they were able
yeah,
to
yeah. They were
succeed,
awful. Yeah,
right? Um, Back in the 90s when they won with McLaren, right? They gave up right after they won because I think the regulations changed. They were like, "Fuck it, we're out."
hmm, hmm.
So they have a history of like just leaving teams in Formula One and coming back when they wish. You know, like, are they helping the sport at the end of the day, or are they just like screwing? Because when they get up and leave, they just abandon everything. It's not like there's a transition plan. This I think was the first time I saw a transition plan.
Right, right.
But because the other times they just like literally got up and left. So yeah, maybe 10 years is a little extreme, but look, do a 5-year ban or something.
Yeah, I think that there is a little bit of difference. Yeah, that this time there was a lot of notice, and then basically what like half the guys who were working for Honda are basically just got absorbed
Yeah,
right
yeah.
in into the organization. So at least that part was good. But yeah, I don't. That's not a bad idea to say that if you leave the sport, you have to stay out for a certain number of years. I mean, yeah, it
Yeah.
would be nice if they had that for some of the drivers as well.
True. But
Like
I,
like
I
it
mean,
like I mean because it wouldn't bother me if Nico Rosberg just disappeared.
Rosberg or
Like
Hulkenberg?
I'd like to see both.
Both?
No,
Okay.
Rosberg in particular. If he were to just disappear, like disappear from Earth.
Like literally disappear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Literally.
Jump on the next Tesla, not Tesla, but
That's
SpaceX rocket
SpaceX. Yeah.
and just go to Mars. Okay.
Okay.
But the thing is, Porsche and Audi coming in, not still not clear if both would come in as a engine
Hmm.
supplier or if
Right.
one would be sponsored, the other one would be an actual engine manufacturer. But anyway, it's an extra engine potential here.
Hmm. Hmm.
Andretti also wants to come as a team.
Ugh.
You know, come on. I think there's a space for one more team. I think there's a space for one engine manufacturer.
Yeah, yeah. Just I just don't want Andretti ruining another team.
Well, which team have they ruined before?
Every team that's have Andretti in their name,
As a driver or as a constructor?
both.
They
Any
have
any
they
any team any team with Andretti in its name.
I don't know. The last time I saw Andretti Formula One was 92, three, right? And Michael, right? The
How'd that
son.
work? How'd that
Yeah.
how'd that turn out?
Oh, that was awful. He was let go in the
Right.
middle of the season.
That that is correct.
But they never had a team in Formula One. I don't know how they do in Formula Indy. I don't follow any of the other race
Not good.
sports in the
Yeah,
US. But
yeah.
man,
Again,
listen, if they have the money and they want to compete, I'm all for it.
I'm all for Peter Windsor bringing back. Remember he was going to do USF1. Do you remember
Ooh,
that?
that was a good one. That went
That,
nowhere
that
so
crashed
quick.
hard.
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
crashed hard.
Well, anyway, I think
And then Haas picked it up. So because basically he just took the same idea that Peter Windsor had.
but not the same
Um,
team because that team became the one that Bruno Senna, HRT, right? It was a Hispania,
Was it
HRT,
something like that?
Manor,
Well,
right? Campos Racing, and then just folded, I
yeah, yeah,
believe.
just folded up.
Um, but yeah, anyway, we back on track here. We talked about Ferrari. There's nothing to say about them anymore. I think
Yeah,
no, they're good. They're seizing the opportunity. Looking forward to Italy. No,
I'm
Imola.
I'm looking forward to reviewing your predictions
Let's
because
go. Let's go.
they were all completely
Oh,
wrong.
hold on. Before we forget,
Yeah,
kindly fuck off. And I'm being nice here. Kindly fuck off because
kindly.
kindly.
You're so gentlemanly.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, look,
This
I can't help it that you were completely wrong in every
no, I
prediction
can't
you
help
made.
you an
Like, what do
asshole.
you?
If I did an audit,
Yeah,
we're gonna be cheating because you said this year. Let's write down every single prediction so we can
I never said it was
score.
going to be honest.
Yeah, you fucking asshole. Because
I never said this was going to be honest. I don't understand.
I went through the fucking spreadsheet. You didn't give me points for things that I got it right. So
Yeah, you
kindly fuck off, okay?
because you made like the lamest picks. You're like,
Oh, I got
you're
the
like
point.
Ferraris are gonna get a podium. You know,
Oh, shut up.
like it's the
Oh, it's
lamest
better than your
prediction.
bozo take. The Vettel will sell a seat. Oh, wow, what a nice take. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
Okay, if it was ever gonna happen, it would have been this weekend, right?
Listen,
But
and
look,
I'm being nice because I didn't do
this
predictions
is you
for.
being nice.
Hold on, Jetta. I didn't do predictions. You put all bullshit predictions in, and I accept it because I'm a nice guy. I'm a
Yeah, because
pacifist.
you
Okay.
blew me off. You blew
I
me off
put.
and didn't
I was
record
saving
with me.
kids in Ukraine, you asshole. I
You
was literally saving lives in
Sure
Ukraine.
you were. Sure you
Okay.
were. Yeah, you. All I know is you were supposed to post the show and you went for a walk and didn't come back.
Well, you complain about the description. That's why.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you were in Ukraine. I'm sure
All
that's
right,
what happened to all that money.
go asshole. Let's review the predictions. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you had Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz,
Yeah,
Alonso.
totally doable take. Totally
Yeah,
doable.
except they were totally wrong. I mean, that's the problem. And then
Okay,
your hot
it
take
is
was
what it
that
is.
Hamilton out of Q3, which makes no sense on any planet that he
Man,
wasn't going to make it into Q3. Um,
listen,
I,
I'm
on the
bold.
other
I'm
hand,
bold on the takes.
on the other hand, I pick winners, and that's exactly what I did. I picked the winner.
Congratulations, you got a 1 point. Okay.
No, I got 2 points because I had Russell on the
No, you
podium,
got one
which
point
as
for the winner. Okay, fine.
all right, and yeah, I had Russell on the podium in third, which
Congrats. That
as
was
I
a good take.
recall,
Congrats. And I said it
As I
was a
recall,
bozo
you
take. Yep.
yes, you said it was
Yep.
Bozo,
I
but
own
it
it.
was 100% correct. Yeah.
I own it.
So I mean, again, people should trust me and just tune you out. Like that's what I would encourage people to do.
If they want to poke their eyes out, bleed to their ears, yeah, they
Wait,
should
wait,
tune me out and just
wait, wait.
listen to you.
Why would they poke their eyes out for a
Because
podcast?
you're extremely boring.
Poke their eyes out?
Yeah, like of boredom. Anyway,
You're
listen.
so wait, no, no, no.
No, no, no,
I
no,
just want to define this a little bit further.
no.
Someone is so bored that the only thing they can come up with to do is poke
Poke
their
your eyes, yeah,
eyes
yeah.
out.
As punishment of listening to you. But anyway,
When they could just they could push pause on the podcast or just not listen. But you said that I'm so
I go
bored, I'm
for the
gonna
extreme.
poke my eyes out
Negan,
and continue
Walking
listening.
Dead.
They're gonna
Walking Dead.
continue to listen.
No,
but
Walking Dead. Negan from Walking Dead when he loses the eye. Anyway, you're such a cheater that you were not
Yeah,
tracking our new, stat this
yeah.
year. Who will be the worst average finish?
When did I ever say this would be honest? Like
Yeah, no,
I don't
it's shame on me
understand.
for trusting you. Like, yeah, lessons
Yes,
learned.
yes.
But I
If
did
you're
pick
not cheating, you're not trying.
I picked the worst finish, average finish, Aston Martin. So
Yeah,
at least I got a point. And by the way, running some statistics here, the last two races you picked Aston Martin, you
yeah.
didn't get a point. This race you should have picked Aston Martin. You didn't.
Should have.
I
Yep.
picked it. I got a point.
Yep.
Do you want to read the tally, or what the score
I
is?
I don't. Does it even matter? I mean,
Well, it's 4-2.5. You have
to
4 points. I have
2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
You have 2.5.
Well, remember, like the first race, I gave two hot takes. and I got one right.
Oh,
So I
right,
got
right, right.
the half
Yeah,
point.
no, you gave like 17 hot takes. Like
No,
you,
no.
yeah.
Well, at least it's
you
not a
made, like,
bozo take like yours, but yeah.
again. You can call it bozo, but it was correct.
Well,
Like
well, yeah, Vettel will sell his seat because it's his seat, right? It's not Aston Martin's seat. It's his seat. Yeah.
no,
Here, Audi, just take my seat. Yes.
he was,
I'm
he
gonna
said
go
he was
clean
going to
the
sell it.
earth.
He wasn't just going to give it
Yeah,
away. He was
I'm
gonna
gonna
sell
drive
it.
a garbage truck. No, dump truck.
No. My issue is that you were laughing when I said Russell was going to get a podium.
Listen, if I offended you so much and if I hurt you so much, I'm apologizing. Okay,
Yeah, but
I'm
it's completely
apologizing.
insincere.
Yeah. No, it's not. If you hugged, I'll give you a hug. Where's the
You
camera?
give me a hug.
Yeah.
And I'll poke some eyeballs out.
All right, enough bullshit for one episode. I think we're
Oh,
good.
jeez.
We'll see you for preview
Oh yeah,
of Italy.
it's
In
it's
a
one
week.
off week. Yeah,
Yep.
it's next week.
Thank
Yeah,
God. I
great.
don't.
Yeah, everybody can just take a moment to bask in your predictions there. And just
All right, I'll talk to you in a few days.
all right.